Pristine beaches, a modern property, upscale dining, pool activities, and one of the best water parks I've ever been to in my life. The promise of Baha Mar sets the bar really high, but the question is it worth it? That's what we're going to get into here in this video. So in this video, I'm going to go through the restaurants, the rooms, the staff, the water park, how much it costs me and my family while it is that we are there. Plus, I'm going to go through some tips and tricks on how to save you some money while it is that you're on property. So let's get into it. Welcome to Guy Standard. My name is Leo. We cover a wide range of different topics here on this channel, but one of my favorite ones is travel. So thank you for clicking on this video. Please just give it a chance, and then hopefully I can return some value to you. Then you can do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do down below. At the time of shooting this video, we have been to Baha Mar 3 times, and in a few weeks we'll be there for the 4th time in a row. That's how much we've liked it. In terms of booking, there's 3 different properties. We go there with a family, so we stay in the Grand Hyatt. It's really nice. It's the main property in the middle. That's where the casino and stuff and all that is there. Now we fly out to the Atlanta area in a straight flight from Delta. Once it is that you land in the Bahamas, we use a company called Cheryl's Taxi. It's super easy to book to if you just go to the website. I will link it down below. Big up to Cheryl's Taxi though, because they make the process super easy. They have some of the best customer service. And then one of my favorite parts is Baha Mar is so close to the airport. It really takes about 10 to 15 minutes once it is that you've gotten your bags to get there. Let's talk about the room real quick. We have always done a standard room. It's 4 of us. Our kids are a little bit younger at 9 and 7, but the room is actually pretty nice. It has enough space for the 4 of us. We don't feel particularly cramped. It's 2 queen beds. So my wife and I in one bed and the kids on the other bed there. Bathroom is really nice, kind of modern. You can see that it kind of opens up in between the bathroom, bed area, living area, so it kind of makes it feel a little more airy. We've always gotten fountain facing rooms. You get to see the fountain. It's pretty nice over there, and the way this view is also set up is that it's still nice greenery and some water that you could see, just not seeing the beach. The other main thing for us is that we're not spending a large amount of time in the room. We're really just sleeping in the room. We get up in the morning and then we're good to go. Speaking of getting up in the morning, let's talk about food a little bit. I think this is one of the biggest differentiators, and it's why we keep coming back to Baha Mar as opposed to going back to all-inclusive. The food, I feel like, is one of the biggest differentiators at this property as opposed to going to an all-inclusive. Now let's start with breakfast. We're not huge breakfast people for our family. Sometimes it's nice to sit down and eat a nice big buffet or get the French toast and do all of that, but usually by the time we get up, we're really irking to get ready. So we generally will just go to Starbucks and pick up something real quick, eat it right outside of Starbucks, and then we're ready to go and get running for the day. So because we're normally running around on property, usually we eat lunch on the go. However, some of the main restaurants are open for lunch as well. But for us, the ones that we tried are mainly either at poolside, beachside, or at the water park. So if we're down on the beach, they have these cool little food trucks there which has foods from all the different restaurants on property. Or there's a couple of different restaurants at the pools that you have options to eat at. Or depending on if we're at the water park, there's also some food trucks in the water park there that has amazing burgers, chicken wings, hot dogs, stuff like that. When we get to dinner, that's where we normally sit down and eat at one of the restaurants on property. Now, we haven't been to all of them, but we have gone to a few, and I can tell you some of my favorites. So funnily enough, the most casual one out of all of them is one of my favorites, which is Pizza Lab. The pizza is really good. It's always easy to get into. It's very kid friendly, and the prices are very reasonable, but the pizza is actually really good. So Pizza Lab is one of our favorites. We've also done Fia a few times. That has been good, sometimes hit or miss. Not always our favorite, but I've had a few different pastas there. The kids like it. My wife liked it. Sophia is high on the list as well. Chuang Bao was actually really good. On the first year that we went, we're gonna try it when we go back here in the next time as well. So if I do an update video, I'll let you guys know if we still like it. But I definitely put that on the list to try out as well. If you're just looking for casual Asian, Sticks was good as well. That's super casual, particularly good if you have kids there. Sticks Noodle Bar was really good also. Then let's talk about Marcus. Marcus gets a lot of great reviews and there's a lot of hype around Marcus. We went last time, it was good. It wasn't particularly blow my mind, it was just okay for all the hype that was out there. I wouldn't rearrange my schedule or worry that if I didn't have a reservation there, because sometimes reservations can be a bit hard to get. However, of all the restaurants that we've tried so far, Cleo is the one that we go back to year after year, and it is our absolute favorite. The food there never ever misses. I've tried a multitude of different things on the menus and it always seems to be really good. So Cleo is one place that we go to year after year after year. Upscale dining, but still you could bring your kids there and it is still amazing. Alright, so let's talk activities. So the way we normally split up our day is normally into thirds. We normally spend 30 of the day at the beach, 30 of the day at the water park, and then we normally finish up at the pool before it is that we get ready and go to dinner. And by the time we do all that, we're normally ready to go to sleep and we're all four of us are ready to go to bed. Now let's start with the beach. I know there are other properties like beaches, Turks and Caicos that get all the rave about the beach or whatever. I'm not going to say that this Bahamas beach is one of the best beaches in the Caribbean, but it is way far above average and actually really surprised me. The sand is really nice, the water is really clear unless it is raining, and it actually has some snorkeling that you could do around there as well. They also have these cool little water pads for you to hang out a little bit further out in the water. And then on top of that, those snorkeling and water activities are pretty much free. So you have paddleboarding, you have the kayaks. And speaking of the snorkeling, it is actually really cool there as well because you do see quite a few different animals over there. There is a small little coral reef, and then there's this bridge area where big sea turtles are normally coming by, as well as the Nemo looking type fish, and every once in a while you may see a stingray. Then the pools, there are so many different pools to choose from. Some of them are adults only, and then some of them have a little bit more laid back vibe. Our favorite pool to hang out at though is the one that is closest to the aquarium, where you could see the sharks and the turtles and all that there under the waterfall and the cave. There's also 2 cliff jumping levels for kids and big kids like myself to jump off of there. This is where we normally end the day. And then there's a kiddie pool over there as well if you have really smaller kids, and a couple different hot tubs, bathroom close by. So this is our pool hangout area, and we normally do that in the evening when it is that we're done with the beach and the water park. Speaking of the water park, this is probably another thing that puts it over the top. This is not your regular water park that you'd normally find at a property. The Baha Mar water park is like an amusement park. It's something that you would pay for even if you weren't staying on property. As a matter of fact, a few times that I've been there, I've actually seen a few celebrities that are not staying on property and they brought their kids there because it is that fun. So they have pretty much everything that you'd want from a water park. They have these huge slides, the death drop slide that you get in the tunnel and you fall down, or you go all the way down there. You have that. There's a full-on wave pool, so if you're not at the beach and you want to feel some insane waves, there's a huge wave pool that they have going on. Then there's a wave runner surf area where you could boogie board / surf and get into that. That's always super cool. And then there's another set of slides over there that's like an in-between, not crazy super high, but in between. Then there's also the lazy river, which my family calls the crazy river because it can get a little crazy at certain parts, but if you just want to kind of relax, that kind of goes around the entire water park area. Then there's the group slide stuff as well, which also is kind of an in-between but fun family stuff there. You have one that goes all the way up and drops you down. There's another one that's single file for you to do. So tons of fun stuff there. Then if you have smaller children that are not able to take advantage of the stuff that I just mentioned, there's a kiddie water park area that has much smaller slides. And then on top of that, this would just be good by itself. There's like a pirate ship area where it has the whole thing where the water falls down every few minutes onto the children, but that has a whole bunch of slides and activities in there. So like if you just came here and spent the day at the water park, my kids love it, and this is one of the biggest selling points for being at Baha Mar is the water park. Also in terms of activities, there are a lot of additional stuff that you could do on property. The main thing that we have done before is the animal exhibit that is by the pools that has the sharks and the stingrays, and you get to pet the starfish and get to see conch and learn all about the different animals and animal sanctuaries there. We've done that a few times and that has been cool. All these are paid, but they're not that expensive to do. And then there's also the flamingos. The flamingos are always out. That's free if you catch them at the right time in the morning. They do a little flamingo parade 2 times per day. You can come out, the kids can interact with the birds, and it's actually pretty cool as well. Now let's talk, is it worth it? In terms of the actual being there, hotel pricing is always a little bit crazy for food and drinks and whatever, but it's not actually that bad. The last few times I actually pulled up my bills here. We paid $1,000 2 years ago and $1,200 last time that we were there. But you can kind of budget for a family of 4 that's eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner all on property, as well as factoring in some drinks while it is that you're there. Always getting a few drinks throughout the day between me and my wife there, as well as whatever it is that the kids are eating, snacks, ice cream, all of that stuff there. You can budget around $300 to $400 per day for a family of 4, depending on how you particularly run things and how much you order. Which gets me into the money saving things that you could do if you are a little bit more price conscious and you do want to save some money. The first thing there is bring snacks if you have kids. This is also not just a money saving thing, it's a convenience thing there. Any downtime in between eating, you know how kids are, sometimes they don't eat all the food in the time that you want them to eat, and then they're like, oh, I'm hungry. Instead of having to go somewhere or waiting for somebody to come to you to bring them something, you can just have snacks on hand ready, packed in your bag and ready to go. Same thing for alcohol. When it is that you get to the airport, there's a duty free right before you exit. You could do that. Or if you can always have your taxi person, particularly if you book with Cheryl's Taxi, you can have them stop at the grocery store for you where you could pick up snacks and alcohol. And then sometimes I just ride around with a Yeti with my drink in there. I've also done this little post-meridium can. I'm not a big can mixed drink person, but these actually taste really good. Next thing, as mentioned, is breakfast. Getting the Starbucks breakfast helps a lot. Starbucks is good enough that way we're not wasting additional time and we could get to the beach and the water park and the pools as quickly as possible, but added benefit that it saves us some money. Also, major key, if you have kids under 6, they eat free at all of the restaurants. And I'm probably not supposed to say this, but they're not particularly strict with it. If you tell them your kids are 6, so like if you had a kid that just turned 6 or whatever, just tell them that they're under 6 or whatever. They just kind of want to encourage you to go to all the restaurants, try all the stuff. But kids under 6 eat for free at the different restaurants. So in conclusion, to answer the question at the start of the video, is it worth it? Overwhelmingly yes for us. We think it's better than almost any all-inclusive that we've been to. And like I said, we've been to the Royaltons, we've been to beaches, we've been to the Grand Room Palaces across the Caribbean and stuff like that. This just ends up being a way better experience because we can pick and choose the quality of the staff, the quality of the amenities on properties, the modernity of the rooms, the cleanliness, plus the beach, everything just overall works out to be better. And when you actually take into consideration what you actually spend, it's really just a mindset thing. In total, we probably end up spending less at Baha Mar. It's really just seeing it as you spend, which might moderate how you spend a little bit, but apples to apples, even if it was equal, at a much higher quality, in my opinion, it is well worth it. We're heading back there for a 4th time, so that should tell you. Hopefully this video gave you some insights and let you know what you wanted to know. If you do have any additional questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. Hit the subscribe button and the notification button because we have a bunch of other travel content coming here on the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Big up yourself. Peace.